And to hear the Prime Minister of Pakistan talk about cricket, well, where I've come from, cricket is what you put on a fishing line. We don't even understand cricket. I grew up playing baseball in the United States. And when I was a young person too, I made the decision to enter into politics thinking that young people must be a part of changing the world. Of course, that was quite a long time ago. But what I found out in politics, in government, and this is what I hope that you will come away from this summit understanding, that you must be inspired to make a difference in your nation. When I was elected governor in the United States, our unemployment rate was the worst in the United States. Our personal income growth was one of the worst in the United States. We had high welfare and a tremendous number of people depending on government. But we put together a vision and a team, laying aside our political and party differences with an execution that would take place, not worrying about who gets credit, but how do we help the people that need it most. And literally within 2 years, the small state of South Carolina was #1 in America in job growth, #1 in America in per capita international investments, #1 in America in employment. It was all about teamwork, a dream that came true because of a vision being executed by men and women who had a common goal. And when I look at the last 200 years, because it's easy today to fixate only on the negative, only on the worst, but let me give you a backdrop that 200 years ago, there were 1 billion people on earth. 200 years ago, 95% of the people on planet Earth were in poverty. 85% were in extreme poverty. So we have made a lot of progress. Let it not be misunderstood. Today's population, 7.5 billion. Only 25, 30 years ago, it was 5.3 billion. The number of hungry people 25, 30 years ago was over 1 billion people. People that went to bed not knowing where their next meal would come from. And in the last 25, 30 years, we've reduced hunger to below 800 million people. Severe hunger rate going down. Extreme poverty going down. Poverty reduced to extraordinary small percentages around the world. And as the Prime Minister of Pakistan alluded to, China alone reduced the number of hungry people by 800 million people in the last 40 years because they had a plan. But let me give you some bad news. Though wealth has been shared around the world in a way that's unprecedented, we are now seeing for the first time the hunger rate go back up. From 777 million to over 821 million. But this is even more disturbing when you hear this fact. The fact that the extreme poverty rate, and I mean extreme, that means the people that are marching toward the brink of starvation, those who don't know where the next meal is, they literally are marching over a cliff of death. That rate has risen from 80 million to 124 million in just the last 2 years. Conflict, destabilization, poor governance, and let me go on, the issues here and there, climate extremes, and integrated all together, and we have a perfect storm heading our way. But we have solutions, we have answers. We've got more wealth in the world today than any other time period. We have more fluid wealth, $300 trillion of wealth in the world today. And yet, every 5 to 10 seconds, a child dies from hunger. At the World Food Program, at the United Nations, we are assisting